go. Getting our steps in today. Hopefully it's not too breezy, so you don't hear too much static coming over the earbuds. Trying to do an earlier morning one. See if anybody pops in. It's another beautiful day in Texas. What's up, Marty? Gotta get my coffee and some steps in. I appreciate the thumbs up, Marty, dude. How are you doing, Marty? You doing all right? What's happening? Well, I had a little fun yesterday. I made 2 shorts utilizing math. And I was showing people how Trump arrived at his 1,000% price drop in a pharmaceutical, right? Because he's been he's been going after these pharmaceutical companies for most favored nation trading status. And he was using an example that he got one drug going from $100 to $10, and that was 1,000% drop in price. And I was showing people how he arrived at that number. And I did 2 videos on it, shorts. And it set some people off, as I knew it would. What's up, Bobby? I knew it would. See, here's the thing. They're blowing up my comment section, and I appreciate that. Like, that's not how you do it, Boggs. That's not how you do it. You're a moron. That's 5th grade math. You can't do math, blah, blah, blah. When I clearly showed them on a calculator that what I was saying was technically a truth. It's the truth, right? There's 1,000% difference between the number 100 and the number 10. That's a truth. And they were getting upset because, wow, that's not how you calculate it. You'd have to subtract the 10 from the number, then it's like, it's 90% Boggs, it's 90% drop. I'm like, huh, you're right. What's up, Feline? I'm like, you're right. It's 2 ways of looking at it, right? But what I was really going after is, how did that make you feel? When you had somebody out here on social media or in front of the news camera breaking down an argument with quasi-truth, right? Because, 10 to 100 is 1,000%. But that's not the whole story, right? And that's what people queue up on. That's what they queue up on. It's like, this guy is not being completely truthful with me. He's gaslighting me. He thinks I'm a moron. Ah, cool. Look at the dog.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, and it's like, it made them feel upset, so upset they had to come and correct me on the videos, 2 of them. And I'm like, yeah, politicians do that. They hit you up with bullshit arguments with a kernel wrapped in a kernel of truth. Because technically, it is the truth. But it's bullshit. And what I was going for was that this is what the Democrats have been doing to the Republicans for decades. Decades. Well, that doesn't surprise me, Feline. All right? When you have the Democrats coming out here and waving around crime statistics and data, or how many illegals have actually entered the United States, because they've been using the same figure for 30 years, guys. Right? How long have you heard, oh, we only got 30 million. 30 million. It's been 30 million since the 90s. All right? It's bullshit. But we all know it's bullshit. They're gaslighting us. It's an obvious lie, right? We're looking at crime data that the FBI used to release based on race, and that's where the whole 1350 rule came from. And it's like, man, there seems to be an issue. You know, it'd be nice to, I don't know, make an attempt. But it's like, then they hide the data. The Democrats have been gaslighting us for decades to get across their point. And I just wanted to show in real time what that's like. And the reason it pissed them off, and the reason they felt the need to comment, is because they knew I was being slightly dishonest with them. And they didn't like it. They didn't like it one little bit. Not one little iota. No. I'm not going to have this middle-aged guy with the wrinkly face and the beautiful hair out here talking shit about math. I know math. By God, I'm the math magician. I am the math wizard. I know all, see all, and you're just a dumb trucker, Boggs. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's that emotional reaction that we people on the right have been dealing with for a long time. And when these wizards of smart come out there berating us for noticing things and, trying to present real solutions to issues, and they tell us we can't because the math doesn't math up, I want them to remember this little experiment. I want them to understand this is how we collectively have been feeling on the right for a long time now. And that's why we're so upset about what's happening. I hope that makes sense. And now people are dropping off. Hey, that's fine. Hey, not everybody likes having their mind play with a little bit. But it needs to happen sometimes to make a point. It just does. And that's a problem with salespeople. They'll BS to BS when the truth will suffice. Sorry, I have people walking around me. They don't want to be part of the live. When you have good data, you don't have to church it up, right? He could have just said, hey, I strong-arm these pharmaceutical companies, and since I control Medicaid and Medicare, I got them to drop the price of these prescriptions by 90%. And that's a win. That's a hell of a win. That's more than what really politicians from either side of the aisle have done for Americans, working class Americans. And let's face it, it's Medicaid and Medicare for poor or elderly and retired Americans who are also working class. That's more than a politician has done in recent memory, but he's got to put a spin on it because he's a businessman first, which means he's a bullshit artist first. And you have to realize that, right? But they all do it. They all do it. So like, oh hell, instead of saying 90%, I could say 1,000%. Oh my God, that sounds so much sexier in front of the camera. And it works. We're all talking about it, right? It's marketing, right? Good, bad, or indifferent, we queue up and we single out the bullshit. And that's what grabs our attention. So now we're all talking about 1,000%. Just something to think about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. It's crazy. You know, like I said, it's baffle people with bullshit. You wrap up the truth you wrap up the lie in a kernel of truth, and then it just goes down easier, I guess. But yeah, that's oh, I just noticed I put the water back in the creek. That's cool. Here we go. Y'all want to see some? You want to see some waterfowl? Want to see some duckies? Here, I'll give you a little peek. I'm sure you'd rather look at them than my little mug. There you go. See? Hey, quack quack. Hey guys. They're all over there nesting. I guess they had some pipe work down there on the other side of the bridge, and they had to dam it up for a little bit to do whatever they were doing with the pipe. So, yeah, good times. I enjoy this time of year here in Texas. It's not bitter cold. It's just right. Yeah, it's a reward for melting into the pavement during the summer months. Yeah. We try to go fishing in there. Too many damn turtles. What's up, Kobe? Yep, Mr. I saw it. I just haven't dealt with video games here lately. Been too busy with work. That and the boy likes to play Project Zomboid, so he hasn't really been in a Roblox mood. I might need to gain a little weight. I don't know. I might have. I've been working out, so I probably put a little muscle on. But but man, you guys, if you have an opportunity and you have the want to, you should go check out those 2 shorts I did. They're the last 2. And then you should go read the comment section. It's very entertaining. I mean, I got people throwing down equations. I got people flashing credentials that they have this and this degree, and by God, they're the smartest smart that ever smarted. And that's just not the way how you calculate this, Boggs. You're stupid. I'm like, okay. Well, whenever I get back on there, but if my son wants to, all right, I'm not. I don't know how old you are, Kobe. I'm being honest. So, and Roblox has been getting a bad rap here lately. So, if my boy wants to, I'm down. But I'm not just gonna go by myself. I'm just being honest. Right, Tyrannus? I know. Everyone tries to play gotcha. Yeah, we got him this time, boys. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it look stupid online. Look what he's posting now. That stupid Boggs. I guess it was a little mean of me. It was a little mean. I guess it's a little impromptu sociology experiment. But it got the results I was looking for, so I guess it was a success. And I naturally piss people off anyway, so I just always say go with what you're good at. Yeah. Never-ending mountain of debt. Yeah, let's make that happen. Oh, look, we're $37 trillion in debt. Isn't that wonderful? We're great. Yeah. No, it was that was a disaster. No, I think the advent of cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, I think that is going to change the dynamics of how our currency is utilized to check inflation. See, and guys, I hate explaining some things because you're all intelligent. You don't have to be explaining it. Maybe for you younger people, governments love inflation. They love inflation. They absolutely hate deflation. They want to devalue our currency because they want to use today's dollars in value to borrow today's money and pay it back with tomorrow's worthless currency. So the only way Biden could pay back $37 trillion in his estimation was to hyperinflate the currency so we could at least make the interest payment so we don't default on the debt. And that's what he did because they're morons. Whereas Trump was like, nah, that's stupid. His philosophy is to actually grow the economy and to siphon it around from the rest of the world back into the United States. And we'll see if that's going to work or not. It's still too soon to tell because he's not even a full year into this administration for a second time. So, but we'll see what happens. He says he's got $17 trillion of commitments, but how quickly that money will actually flow in is another story. So we'll see. Oh, right on, Shelby. So am I. Welcome to the 50 Club. Yeah. You owe someone $10. Yeah, that sucks. I'll charge you your $10 for my mortgage. How about that? Yeah, I'm out here trying to warm up a little bit. Then I need to go hit some weights. And then I got more chores to do this afternoon. But I figured while I'm out here walking, I can run my mouth a little bit. But yeah, I know. I look, man. It was a little mean. I admit it. But it was a harmless kind of mean. It's mostly just to get people to think. All right? Because it goes both ways. They don't like it when we're being dishonest with them. And we really don't like it when they're dishonest with us. And that's just the bottom line. If they could just be truthful with the American people, we can actually come up with a solution to fix a lot of our problems. And here's the dirty little secret. It's not the economy. It's not any of that. It's culture. The only thing that's going to fix what ails us right now in this society is a foundational cultural shift that we all experience together. And that will give us commonality. And in the end, a sense of purpose and a direction to push this stone forward to make some progress. But we have to have a cultural shift. Literally everything that we're experiencing right now is a cultural issue. And they've rammed it down our throats that diversity is our strength for so long, when that's gaslighting, that's a lie. Unity is strength. Diversity is divisive. That's why they're derivatives of the same word. Diversity and divisiveness. Division. Unity is what's going to be required to get us out of this mess. What's up, Kobe? Uncle, I found you. Oh, my dear niece. My long-lost niece. I'm guessing you're a chick. I don't know. Oh, it says boy at the end. Maybe you are a boy. I think I do one more lap. That I need to get out of here and go hit some weights. But yeah. When did I last see you? Are you talking about Amos the boy? I don't know. Oh! When he came in here? Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a couple of weeks. I'm trying to vary my times, right? It's hard, man, because I'm in some kind of weird algorithm. I'm a small channel, but sometimes I get in that international algorithm for whatever reason. And sometimes the lives, they pop off and I'll get tens of thousands of views, or sometimes it'll be smaller like it is today. And I try different times. I tried, earlier or late. It's like the other day, Saturday. Saturday is normally a really slow day for me, even for being a little channel. But then it still ripped off 4,500 views. And at one point, I had like 130 people in the viewing at one time. Now they didn't stick around, but it was showing up in the algorithm somewhere, right? So I figure I try to rip one off this morning to see how the algorithm likes it. And I'm trying to find that sweet spot. So once I can get that nailed down, I can concentrate more on that time slot and have more regular live feeds, right? But while everything is so herky-jerky, it's kind of difficult. So all I could do is basically throw the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. And eventually, hopefully, I can find out before the magic runs out. Show us your surroundings once. Don't worry about it, Kobe. I appreciate it, but don't worry about it. Well, here, you got the park. See? That's our creek. That's the electrical box. They just filled that creek back in. That they had been working on it on a pipe, so they had it dammed up. Well, there's no one here, so you can see here's the play area. All right. That's where the kiddos like to go and play. It's a nice park. I enjoy it. Been here for years. Got I guess out that way. That's the pool area. Got a couple of kiddie pool, lazy river, a couple of slides, and you got a deeper pool too, where you can dive. All right, Kobe, take care. Tell your grandma I said hi. Anyway, but that's what late October in Texas looks like. I'm out here in my shorts and you can see my t-shirt. Oh, here you go. More ducks. Quack, quack. Here you go. Well, he's really getting to it, too. Shake those tail feathers. Anyway. Well, thank you, Kobe. No, you're the best. You're the best. All right. Yeah. They're like pets, man. They're here year-round. They're the county pets. Oh. We got this little guy. Oh, well, he's gonna run. Can't really show you. Where you at? Where'd you go? He already took off.
Rolled it to the other team.
He already took off. I was gonna show you the squirrel. He was going crazy. Anyway, I like nature, guys. I can't help it. That's why I was a Boy Scout back in the day, because I enjoyed getting out and being more with nature for a little bit.
Man, he made it.
But yeah. I could show you something for the people new in the chat. Where I live is an old railroad town, so they have one of the old coal-powered engines from back in the day, and they have it here as They made it look pretty, and now it's basically a lawn ornament. But this thing used to run. You imagine? I'll walk over here. There's people on the path. They're looking at me sideways, like, "What's this guy doing with his camera?" It's like, "Don't worry, I don't have anybody else on camera." I'm very considerate that way because I am a considerate person. Here you go. Check it out. Pretty cool, huh? Imagine that thing. That thing was a workhorse. Everyone likes to see get the front of it with the cow catcher. How cool is that, huh? The old iron horse that conquered the West. Anyway. I like stuff like that. Probably why I became a truck driver, because I like big vehicles. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought so. Just imagine going coast to coast in that thing, and you got to shovel all that coal to keep the damn thing going. I mean, it's amazing what our ancestors did. And they were not only were they building those tracks, but it wasn't going through tame area. They were going through hostile Indian territory while they were doing it, living in man camps, thousands of miles away from home. Yeah, it's really remarkable if you think about it. And then you had to not only deal with the natives, but you also had to deal with the outlaws. That 30-year history where there was no law out in the West. Anyway, I'm digressing. That's just what I wanted to say, guys. I was having some fun. I dropped 2 shorts. It was essentially provoke an emotional reaction. I think I was successful. Are those people that watch those shorts, are they here? I don't know. But I hope that they're a little bit more mindful when they hear their fellow countrymen out here saying, those stats you're throwing around are bullshit. We know they're bullshit. Give us the truth. Let's get down to the real problem of the matter. Stop the gaslighting. Because we know you're being dishonest. And those numbers are a damn lie. So, cut the bullshit. And let's come together. Will it happen? No. No, because these people have a superiority complex. They think that they have a bachelor's in gender studies, that they are the overseers of all that they perceive, and that's simply not the case. They're just essentially overeducated idiots. Reading To Kill a Mockingbird does not make you a literary genius. All right, it just doesn't. Or Heather Has Two Mommies, or whatever the hell claptrap they want you to read nowadays that they throw off as something highly intelligent and is going to get you down the road. Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you don't think the politicians don't utilize the media for what they are, as mouthpieces, come on, Diver. You know better than that. Nah, I was just talking about a little fun I was having yesterday with Trump's 1000%. And the people didn't like it. And they had to tell me about everything about how wrong I was in the comments. Even though I showed them mathematically where the good number came from. And I showed it in real time. And it's a true statement. But it wasn't the whole statement, was it, Diver? It wasn't the whole statement, because you knew I was gaslighting, because you're a smart guy. That's why I keep you around. But it was that emotional reaction I was looking for. And I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you, because that's how the Democrats have been treating us working class people for 30 years now. And we finally had enough. So this is what we're dealing with. This crime stats are bullshit. You know, they tell us that, oh, these certain crimes are going down, down, down. And in reality, they just change the threshold of what qualifies as that crime, so they don't have to put it on the data spreadsheet. So it doesn't get counted. So it looks like, it appears that crime is going down, when in reality, it's not. They do it to gaslight us and to protect their pet projects. And part of which is to replace us with more compliant people. And that's the truth. That is the truth. One of many I have said on my channel, and I will continue to do so, whether it makes you upset or not. In the end, I just want to make you think. In some areas, it might be, dude. I don't have all the data in front of me. That may be the cost of gas. Look, man, see, you're doing it again. Gas is down. Inflation is down. That's demonstrable. I don't know if he's adjusting for inflation, or if that's just the base price of the gas without taxes, the state taxes included. You go to California, it's still damn near $5 a gallon. It's not because the fuel's more expensive, it's because of all the taxes thrown on top of it, artificially inflating the price. So you tell me. Hey. No, we absolutely do. We absolutely do. But see, the difference is the populists are taking over the GOP, and unfortunately the Marxists are taking over the Democrats. So the Democrats are no longer patriots or give a shit about America, because now they are full-blown globalists. They don't recognize borders or rule of law. So the working people have moved to the GOP. We are where the Democrats were back in the 90s, and you can hear that by go listen to. There's a lot of clips going around from the 90s here lately, like Nancy Pelosi or even Bill Clinton. Go listen to the Bill Clinton speech from the 90s. They tell me who that sounds like today. I'm just saying. Dude, Clinton did the same thing. Dude, they all done it. They have all done it. Any politician who gets lobbied or get thrown a lot of money into a campaign fund, yeah, chances are you're going to get a pardon, as long as it's not too egregious. That's just the way the game's played, dude. Recognize the game for what it is. That was cut up by the Canadians. And I hate to tell you, but Reagan wasn't right about everything. I know, weird, but in the latter half of the second administration, he was in full-blown Alzheimer's mode. The torch should have been passed to Dan Quayle, but it wasn't. Or not Dan Quayle. That was Bush, George Bush, the senior. He should have been running things. He probably was behind the scenes, honestly. Bush probably was running things behind the scenes for a while, actually. But he didn't turn out to be such a great president either. And that's a shame, too, because he's a Texan. We don't seem to have good luck with Texas presidents. I don't understand. The two Bushes and LBJ were horrible, absolutely horrible presidents. And that's a damn shame, because this state has a lot to offer. And we do have a good culture here. It just, unfortunately, I guess we're not always run by nice people. See, now you're gaslighting. You don't have any proof of that. That's a hell of a thing to say, Diver. If he's guilty, hang him. Hang him. But you better have proof, and you don't. I know you don't. Democrats don't have it either, otherwise he would have used it. You think they would have raided the man's compound, his house, over some bullshit archivable technicality and not use the nuke of dropping information from an Epstein file on him? Come on, man. You're the smartest diver. I saw you showed me your credentials, man. Right? You showed me. You're smarter than that. No, it's not. They told you what the shutdown's over. See, you're trying to add more shit into it. You're trying to church it up. Depends where you live, but yeah, I think Abbott's doing a fine job, to be honest. And I didn't mind Rick Perry. You know, he was a pretty good governor. He was in there for a long time too. But Texas is a little weird politics. We'll get into that later, but it's different here, right? For example, they're only in session every 2 years. Not like Sacramento where they're always in session. It keeps things from getting too screwed up. Why don't we swear in the duly elected Democrat? Yeah. I say, I like Abbott and I like Perry. Are you talking about Ann Richards? She was a dumpster fire, my opinion. Exactly. Schumer is the cause of the lockdown. This is the Democrat lockdown. The majority wants to keep the government open. The government, yes, it's a slim majority in Congress for the Republicans, but they require 60 votes on some of these issues because that's the Senate rules. And the Republicans can't do it on their own. They're the majority. They're all voting. Most of them. I think Paul is the one dissenter, but still, the majority of the people want to keep the government open and then have the debate about fixing things. And we could do that, but the Democrats are trying to force Trump's hand, and Trump's like, "Nah, I ain't gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. Since I have extraordinary powers as president, and I have more powers when the government shut down, as far as the latitude, as far as what to do with the budget, I'm going to start stripping away your pet projects until you cry uncle." And that's all there is to it. So no, the GOP is they're not capitulating this time. They can keep this government shut down until February of next year. It's not. We are not going to fund people that aren't supposed to be here. No, they're not, and they're not going to. And why should they? They are fulfilling the mandates that the people have thrust upon them, and they are completing their campaign promises. It's not happening. The government will remain shut down. The Republicans will not renegotiate. This is a non-starter issue, and the pain is only going to be felt on the Democrat side. And eventually, they will call. Look, they only need 6 of them. You don't think there's 6 purple state Democrats that are going to be coming up for the midterms, right? Because there will be some Senate seats up for the midterms, because that's the way it works. And if you don't think they're not receiving pressure from their constituents because they want to get paid, and I don't blame them. I would want to get paid too. But I would be calling up my congressman and my senator too. Hey, get this shit done. You guys can argue about this shit later. I got Christmas coming up. I got Thanksgiving, right? You need to open this shit up. Yeah. A lot of them are. And they're showing. It's kind of like when Elon took over Twitter, right? And he just started laying off like 3/4 of the company. And the company never skipped a beat. You didn't see any loss of services or any of that. There was so much bloat within Twitter that they didn't really need to be there. Our government's no different. We're not a jobs program, right? It's taxpayer money. We're deep in debt, and there's going to have to be some austerity measures, and that's going to start with government employees, just like Milei did in Argentina. And he did have some success there, but he's also a politician. He's got to play within the system. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. It's been almost an hour. I need to go hit the gym, but I appreciate you hanging around for the ride. Well, I don't know about AOC over Schumer. That there's enough idiots out there that want the Marxism. You really got to watch out for Zoran Fingers Mamdani. I call him Fingers because if he doesn't know how to use utensils. You should see the way he eats rice. I may actually make a video of that. I may actually do a mukbang wearing a beard and showing you how Mamdani eats at the house. It's disgusting. He's out there fucking eating rice and curry with his fucking fingers right there on a park bench like a goddamn animal. Bet he just took a dump too and didn't wash his hands before he stuck his grubby, nasty fingers in that rice when he's throwing it in his mouth. Yeah. Okay, well that's certainly an opinion. I'm sorry. Are we not in the 21st century? Are we not living in the United States? Is he not living in New York City? And he doesn't know how to use a fucking spoon or a fork? I'm sorry. If you're just sticking your grubby little fingers into a bowl full of rice and shoveling it in your mouth, hell, even using a bit of tree bark would have been more civilized than what he was doing. Yeah, well, New York City ain't those cultures. And they're certainly not running for mayor of the financial capital of the planet. It's very off-putting. You know, I'm sure subcultures, you have a food trough and you just stick your face in there and you start slurping it up, right? But I wouldn't recommend doing that here. That's not going to faze me. I'm sorry. If me using utensils make me a bigot, then I guess I'm a bigot. I'm sorry. I'm civilized. You know, I can go to Walmart and buy a spoon for like 50 cents. I have some in my truck. You know, I don't just stick my hand into a bowl of ramen and just shove it in my mouth. Yep. No, you're a bigot despite your use of cutlery. No. Hey, well, I guess you're my raccoon. If I'm trash, you're my raccoon because you're here and you're eating all the trash. So, how you doing, my little trash panda? Do you like that particular flavor? Are you rolling around and exuridating in the trashiness? No, it is. Well, hot dogs aren't rice, are they? They're not grains. Do you eat cereal with a spoon? Or do you just shove your face in the bowl and slurp it up like a little piggy? Yeah. There's a way that we do things here, and one of them is using cutlery. No, it's not the same thing at all. There are finger foods, like a chicken tender, right? A chicken tender is a finger food. A hot dog is a finger. A slice of pizza is a finger food. Grains that are very small and would make a mess, right? I tell you what. When you're eating a bowl of mashed potatoes, right? When you're eating a bowl of mashed potatoes, do you stick your finger in there and then take your finger full of mashed potato mush and dip it in the gravy and then start slurping it in your mouth? Or do you pour the gravy on the mashed potatoes and then use a spoon to eat it. All right? You tell me. Well, at least chopsticks are a utensil. I mean, they're not my go-to. Whatever. At least they're a utensil. I know. They're catching me at the tail end. Hey, you dirty little savages. One day when you're civilized, you will learn how to use cutlery like the rest of the planet. And you too will, first, before you do that, even though you're using forks, knives, and spoons, you still need to wash your hands prior to eating. I know this is a big hurdle to jump over. You got to do it. Food safety is an issue, right? You can't just go from shoving a plastic bottle up your ass and using it as a bidet and then go straight out the stall to, McCurry and stick your fingers like a little piggy in that big bowl of rice and macaroni and cheese and mashed potatoes and the other gloppy shit that you can shovel in your mouth. You need to wash your hands, then you use the cutlery, because you don't want the poo particles that you've accumulated over the course of your day getting into your mouth. It's not sanitary. Yes. I'm just saying. All right? I see it all the time. You go in some of these bath stalls, they got these little plastic bottles everywhere because they don't want to wipe their ass with paper. But these savages will still leave these bottles inside the stalls like it's somebody else's problem to pick up. It's like, dude, if you want to shove water bottles up your ass, I'm not here to judge. But pick up after yourself. Don't just leave it there for somebody else. There is a trash can literally on the other side of that stall that you can put the bottle into. Regardless, you still need to wash your hands with soap before you eat. All right? Salmonella is not a dipping sauce. All right? So you need to make sure you're washing your hands. I'm just sounding like it. No, I'm sounding like a guy that's living with experience on the road. I'm not Muslim. I don't want to go hunt my cousin nor marry them. That's a Muslim thing. I'm agnostic. So I'm not into cousin fucking. I'm just saying. Even though they're making that a reality in Britain right now because all the Muslims invaded, UK-istan, Britain-stan. No, they're the cousin fuckers. No, my dick's not getting anywhere near a family member. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, it is. They are very much into marrying their first cousins. Yes, they are. Go look it up. That's one of those gaslighting stats they don't like to reveal, but it's the truth. That it is very much a very, very much a first cousin humping thing to be in Islam. Absolutely. Well, then I guess the Islamists are a bunch of damn hillbillies. So, you think I'm making this shit up? I'm not. You can go look it up for yourselves. But again, it's one of those inconvenient truths, right? Now you're trying to gaslight me. No, there's a lot of cousin fuckers in Islam. First cousins, right? And that's why these people are so warped, because they're so fucking inbred. They got a bunch of genetic defects because their family tree, the trees don't have branches. They just, look, this is Islam right here. It's a trick. No branches. Right? Your wife, you and your wife should not have the same maternal or paternal grandparents. I'm just saying. That's not how you make a healthy society. I gotta throw this away. Not defensive. It's not being defensive. It's telling you the truth. Now you're trying to gaslight me. See? It don't work that way. Yeah. No, that's your people, man. That's your people. Hey, why go across town for a date when you just go across the hall? I'm just saying. That's how you guys think. If we're being real about it. No, mine has plenty of branches. And I have to go to, and that's the sad reality of it. I was supposed to go 10 minutes ago, but I was waiting for, to kick off a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Back in the day, like, I don't know, 3000 BC, sure. They didn't have metallurgy or tree bark or whatever the fuck. But then they realized that pathogens weren't goblins inhabiting your blood, and you needed to let them out, right? They didn't have to be blood to let the bad humors out. And they realized that, oh shit, these are actually germs, bacteria and viruses and stuff. And you should probably wash your hands before you stick your fingers in something and shove it in your mouth, because that's how you die at the age of 30, because they didn't live very long, did they? So, yeah, it's called evolving. You should try it sometime. Well, then take off, Kaylin. I'm not keeping you here. If the truth hurts you, take a hike. The regulars right now are laughing at you because they know what I'm doing. They are sticking around laughing at you. And I'm laughing with them. All right, I'm out of here. This has been fun, but I gotta go for real. Bye.